Hi guys, welcome to another video, and in this one we're going to go through Functional Skills Maths Level 2 Fractions. And I'd probably recommend watching Functional Skills Maths Level 1 Fractions. If you haven't seen that already, do watch that one first and then watch this one because they do go hand in hand. So in this one we're going to convert mixed numbers to improper fractions, finding the fraction of an amount, and add and subtract fractions. As always, you can download these notes from the link in the description below. And if you're part of my class, you should have it already from Google Classroom. So just a bit of an introduction to what a fraction is. Hopefully you should know already. So we call the top part of the fraction the numerator, and the bottom part the denominator. Yeah, and the different types of fractions that you do get are proper fractions, which are normal fractions. So for example, things like a half, a third, or 2/3. So the numerator is less than the denominator. Okay, and then you got improper fractions, or sometimes they're called top heavy. Numerator is greater than the denominator. So things like 3/2 or 5/3. Or 7/5, and so on. Yep, so the numerator is bigger than the denominator. And then you've got mixed numbers, which is a combination of fractions and whole numbers. So for example, 1 and 1/2, or 2 1/3, or 3 3/4, for example. Yep, so you've got a whole number with a fraction together as well. So we need to know how to change between a mixed number and an improper fraction. So here's a mixed number, and how to change to an improper fraction. What you need to do is you multiply these two together and you add the numerator. So 4 times 3 is 12, plus the 2 is 14. So your numerator will be 14, and it's out of whatever denominator they're using a 3. So your answer is 14 out of 3. Yeah, so that's the same as that. Let's do the same for this one as well. So you multiply these two together and you plus the 4. So 3 times 5 is 15, plus the 4 gives you 19, and it's out of 5. Okay, and then you need to know how to change from an improper fraction to a mixed number, so going the other way. And the way to do these is you literally do what it says. So this is saying 31/4, which means 31 is being divided by 4. So if you're not sure, what I would recommend is try and do these in your head. You know, see how many 4s go into 31. If you go up in your 4 times table, you'll get up to 28, which is 7. 7 times 4, which is 28. So 7 is your whole number, and the difference between 28 and 31 is 3. So that's your numerator, and your denominator is going to be the same, and that's going to be 4. If you can't do this in your head, you know, you can actually obviously do the bus stop method and see how many 4s go into 31, and you'll find it's 7. Yeah, and obviously you'll get a remainder of 3, and that'll be your numerator. So ideally you do need to do it in your head, but you know, if you can't, you can very easily do the bus stop method very quickly. Let's do the same for this one. So how many 13s go into 19? Just once, with a remainder of 6 left over 13 for your denominator. Yeah, that's how you change from top heavy to a mixed number. So just to practice those, pause the video and have a go over the next ones yourself. When you're ready, unpause it. Let's go through these answers then. So convert the following improper fractions into mixed numbers. Let's change this to a mixed number. So how many 9s go into 49? That's going to be 5, because 5 9s are 45. Remainder 4, and my denominator is going to be 9. Next one, how many 4s go into 37? That's going to be 9. Yeah, because 9 4s are 36. got a remainder of 1, and my denominator is 4, so that's that done. Next one, convert the following mixed numbers into improper fractions. So we have to multiply these two together. That gives me 35, plus the 4 gives me 39 over 5. Yep, let's do the same for this one. 11 times 7 is 77, plus 5 is 82 over 7. Yep, so this is where your times tables come in handy as well, of course. So you need to know up to your 12 times table to do these, definitely. Let's move on to the next section. So how to work out fractions of amounts. So to work out the fraction of something, replace the word of with the multiplication sign. So example, out of 192 students, 3/4 own a mobile phone. How many of the students own a mobile phone? So we need 3/4 of 192. So, we say of is multiplied. So it's the same as 3/4 times 192. Okay. And when you have anything like this, you always divide by the denominator, multiply by the numerator. Let's do the division first, because that's it makes our life a lot easier. We're left with smaller numbers. So on the side, I'm going to do 192 divided by 4. 4 into 1 doesn't go. 4 into 19 is 4. Because 4 4s are 16. Remainder 3. 4 into 32 is exactly 8. Yeah. So I'm going to write here a quarter equals 48. Okay. So 3/4 will be 3 times that. So 3 times 48. Again, let's do it like this. Yeah, without a calculator. 8 3s are 24, carry the 2. 4 times 3 is 12, plus the 2 is 14, so you get 144. So my answer is 144 students. Yep, you can just put 144, that's fine. So yeah, it's a really good way of doing it without your calculator. Me personally, I would always divide by the bottom and multiply by the top to get your answer. Let's have a look at the next one. Example 2, 3 out of 25 of the money spent on the National Lottery is paid to the Treasury in duty. In a year when £5 billion is recorded in sales, how much money will be paid to the Treasury? So I need this as a number. So I need to work out 3 over 25 times 5 billion. How many zeros? So a million is 6 zeros. A billion has 9. So that's going to be looks like that. Yeah. So I'm going to have to let's divide by 25. Multiply by 3. Let's do it on the side here. Yeah, I'm gonna put that in the bus stop. Looks a bit weird, but it's absolutely fine. Put 25 on the outside. 25 into 5 doesn't go, obviously. 25 into 50 goes twice. We've got all these zeros. We've got 2 zeros there, 3 zeros here, and another 3 zeros here. So that's 200 million pounds. Yeah. So that's 1/25. I want 3/25, so 3 times that. Let's do it like this. Multiply by 3. 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 6. Yeah, don't forget the pound sign. So it should be 600 million pounds. Yep. So hopefully you do know that billion is 9 zeros. If not, think of a million. A million is definitely 6, and a billion is just 1,000 times that. So it's got to be 3 more zeros, more than a million. Yeah. Okay. Let's move on. Example 3, man earns £420 a week. He spends 1/5 of this on rent, a third of what is left on food. How much does he spend on food? So he earns £420 a week. He spends 1/5 of this on rent. So let's work out how much he spends on rent. So for rent, 1/5 of 420, which is the same as 420 divided by 5. Yep, let's use the bus stop method again. 5 into 4 doesn't go. 5 into 42 is 8, remainder 2. 5 into 20 is 4, so that's £84. £84 on rent, okay. And a third of what is left. Oh, let's work that out. So I need what is left first. So what's left is, you know when you take this away from 420, let's do what is left. 420, take away 84, we're going to have to do it like this without the calculator. I'm going to have to borrow. 10 take away 4 is 6, borrow again. 11 take away 8 is 3. I've got 3 there as well. So that's what I've got left, and I need a third of that. So, so this is on food. So I need a third of £336. So you can probably see, but you know, I'll show you with the bus stop method. 3 into 3 is once, 3 into 3 is once, 3 into 6 is twice. So my answer, don't forget the pound sign, £112 on food. Yep, just be careful, you have to work out what is left. You know, it's not going to be a third of 84, just do it step by step. That's his rent, that's what he's got left. You need a third of that, that's your answer. So, just have a go of the next ones yourself. Pause the video, and when you're ready, just unpause it. Let's go through the answers then. So, 54,000 people attended a football match. 3/8 of those who attended were children. How many children attended the football match? Right, so I need 3/8 of 54,000. So I need to divide by this, multiply by this. So let's work out 1/8 first, which is 8 into 54 is 6. Remainder 2 plus 4, which is 6. 8 into 60 is 7. 7/8 are 56. Remainder 4. 8 into 40 is 5 exactly. That's a 0 there. Okay, so I've got 6,750 for 1/8. So 3/8 will be 3 times that. So let's do 6,750 multiplied by 3. That's a 0 there. 5 3s are 15. Carry the 1. 7 3s are 21. Plus the 1 is 22. 6 3s are 18, plus the 2 is 20. So my answer should be, let me write it here, 20,250 children. Yep. Question 2. In a business employing 1,080 people, 5/12 of the employees are under 25. How many of the employees are under 25? So I need 5/12 of 1,080. Let's do 1/12 first by divided by 12. So that's going to be, let's put that in the bus stop. 12 on the outside. And that's going to be 9, isn't it? And I've got a 0 there as well. So that's 90. And then 5/12 will be 5 times that. So that's 5 times 90, and that's going to be 450. So my answer is 450 employees. Yep. Next one. 1,250 people went to the local cinema on a Saturday night. Of these people, 2/5 paid the student rate of £7.50. Remainder paid the full adult rate of £10. What was the total amount of money paid to the cinema that night? Oh, interesting. So 2/5 paid the student rate. Let's work out how many of those there were. So I need 2/5 of that. So let's work out 1/5 first. So I'll need to divide that by 5. 2 into 12. Remainder 2. 5 and a 0. Yep, 250 for 1/5. And so 2/5 will be that times by 2, which is obviously 500. Okay, so 500 people, so that's the students, isn't it? So that's 500 students who paid £7.50, and the remainder paid the full £10. Okay, let's work out 500 times £7.50. So I've got to do 500 times £7.50. I'll tell you what, do you know what, I think this is on the calculator paper, but let's just work out, let's do £7.50 times by 5 first, separately. That's going to give me 5 times 5 is 25, carry the 2. 7 5s are 35, plus the 2 is 37. Okay, and I've got 2 decimal places here. So, and then times that by 100, that gives me, just move the decimal point, I'll get £3,750. Okay, so that's what the students paid in total. And then for the adults, that's going to be the remainder. So what is the remainder? So I'm going to have to do total 1,250. Take away the 500 students. This should leave me with the adults. And that gives me 750 adults, each paying £10. So that's going to give me 7,500. Yeah. So just multiply that by 10, and yeah. So the total, let's do total here. Total is 3,750 plus 7,500. Yep, let's add these two together. I get wow, £11,250. Yep, in total. I could have worked out the 750 by doing 3/5 of 1,250, but it makes no difference, you know, as long as you can work out how many adults you've got, that's fine. Times by the £10, you'll get £7,500. Add it to the total for the students as well, and that's your grand total for your answer. Question 4. When 72 students sat the driving test theory exam, 5/6 of them passed. Of these, 4/5 went on to pass the driving test practical. How many of these students passed both the theory and the practical driving test exams? Right, there's a bit of a tip here. First, find the number of students who passed the exam. Yeah, just like in real life, you know, you have to do the theory test first, pass that, then you go on to do the practical, of course. So you can't do the practical without passing the theory. So let's work out who passed the theory first. 5/6 of them passed, so 5/6 of 72. So I'll need to divide by 6, multiply by 5. So let's do this in our head. How many 6s go into 72? That's going to be 12, is it? And 12 times 5 is 60. Yeah, so 60 students passed their theory exam. Yeah, so 60 students passed theory. Of these, so of the 60 students who passed their theory test, 4/5 went on to pass the driving test. So I need 4/5 of this now. Yes, don't be tempted to do 4/5 of 72. It's not going to be that. It's 4/5 of these guys that passed the theory. So I need 4/5 of 60. And again, let's divide by 5, multiply by 4. How many 5s go into 60? Well, that's 12. And then 12 times 4 is 48. So that's your final answer. How many of these students passed both? Yeah, well, it's these guys, isn't it? The 48 students here. Students passed both. Yep, and that's your answer. Question 5. A man earns £1,200 a month. He spends 3/4 of his earnings on food and accommodation, and he saves 1/5 of the rest. How much money does he save each month? Right, okay, so let's work out 3/4 of 1,200. So again, I'm going to divide by 4, multiply by 3. I think, again, I could do that in my head. You know, if I divide this by 4, I'll get 300. 300 times 3 is 900. So that's £900. And now I need, so that was on, let me just double check. So he spends 3/4 on this. So this is on food and accommodation. Okay. He saves 1/5 of the rest. So I need the rest now. So the rest is, well, if that's £900, the rest is going to be that take away 900, which is £300. So I need 1/5 of the rest. So I need 1/5 of £300. Again, I'm just going to divide by 5. So how many 5s go into that? It's going to be 60. Yep, and that's going to be your answer, £60 each month. Question 6. In a street with 420 houses, 5/6 of the houses are owned by the occupiers. 1/10 of the rest are rented. How many houses in the street are rented? So again, let's work out 5/6 of 420. So again, I'm going to divide by 6, multiply by 5. How many 6s go into this? It's going to be 70. 70 times by 5 is 350. So that's 350 owned by occupiers. 1/10 of the rest. So again, I need the rest. That's going to be, let's take them away. Borrow. That's going to be 70. Right, so 70 houses are the rest. So I need 1/10 of that. So 1/10 of 70. Or you just divide by 10, don't you? Which is 7. So 7 houses are rented. Yep, that's your answer for that one. Let's move on to the next section, which is adding and subtracting fractions. So again, you need to know how to do these without your calculator. And the way to do these is, you can't leave your fractions as they are. You know, you can't just do 15 add 5, 4 add 3. It's not going to work like that. So you're going to need a common denominator. Yeah, and you might have heard that term before. So that means you need both your denominators to be the same. Otherwise, you can't add them or take them away. You know, so you're going to have to change both of them to the same number. And the best way to do these is just look at both numbers and see what you can change them to. You know, in this case, I'm going to change the 5. I'm going to multiply that by 3. So I'm just looking at the denominators, okay, to begin with. And I'm thinking, let's make them both 15 in this case. Yeah, so the first one, I'm not going to change that one. That's still 4 out of 15. The second fraction, I'm going to change that out of 15 as well. But if I multiply the denominator by 3, I'm going to have to multiply the numerator by 3 as well, because you're changing the whole fraction to an equivalent one. So 3 times 3 gives you 9 at the top. And now you can add the fraction, and then again, for your answer, your denominator is going to be the same. It's also going to be out of 15. And you just add your numerators together. So in this case, 4 add 9 gives you 13 out of 15. Yep. Let's do the same for takeaway as well. I'm going to have to change both of these. So I'm going to times this one by 2, times this one by 5. Yeah, that's going to make that out of 10. The second fraction out of 10. My answer will also be out of 10. Yeah, but if I multiply this by 2, I'm going to have to multiply 3 by 2 as well, which is 6. And the top here needs to be multiplied by 5. And now 6 take away 5 is just 1. So your answer is 1 out of 10. So just to practice that, have a go with the next ones yourself. Pause the video, and when you're ready, unpause it and we'll go through the answers. Okay, so let's have a look at this one. So part A, I'm going to multiply this first fraction by 3. Keep this second one the same because that's going to be out of 27 for both of them. So that's going to be out of 27. That will, and so will my answer. So if I multiply this by 3, I'll need to multiply the 8 by 3 as well, which is 24. I kept that the same. 24 plus 19, that's going to give you 43, is it? Out of 27. Yeah, you can leave your answer like this. Next one, I'm going to multiply the first fraction by 2. Keep that one the same. So I'll get 6 over 4 minus 1 over 4, which equals 5 over 4. Yeah, that's your answer. Right, let's move on to next example, how to add and subtract mixed numbers. And I know a couple of people like to do these a few ways. Me personally, I like to change them both to improper fractions first. So you remember how we did change from a mixed number to an improper fraction before? I'm going to do exactly the same. So you multiply these two together, add the numerator. So 2 times 5 is 10, plus the 1 is 11 over 5. Do the same for the second fraction. So that's 1 times 2 is 2, plus the 1 is 3 over 2. So now they're your two fractions. You've got the same denominators, but it should be a bit easier now. So I'm going to multiply this one by 2, this one by 5, because that's going to make that out of 10. So is that one, and so is my answer. Okay, and now I can do 11 times 2, which is 22, and I can do 3 times 5. 22 take away 15 is 7. Yep, so my answer is 7 over 10. Yep, so if you just want to practice a few of those as well, pause the video, have a go, and just unpause it when you're finished. Let's go through the answers then, guys. So I'm going to change these to improper fractions. So that's 10 over 3 plus, what's that going to be? 8 plus 2 is 10 over 4. Oops, where's my 1 gone? There you go. And now let's have a common denominator. So for me, I think I'm going to multiply this one by 4 multiply this one by 3. If you're not sure, just multiply these two together to get your denominator. In this case, 3 times 4 gives you 12. So the only way to change your 3 to a 12 is multiplying by 4. The only way to change the 4 to a 12 is by multiplying by 3. So, you know, if you're not sure which number to use for your denominator, just multiply them two together to get your common denominator. So that's going to be out of 12. That's going to be out of 12. So is my answer. Yeah, I'll get 40 at the top here, 30 at the top here, and that's 50. Yeah, you can leave your answer like this. Sometimes they do say give your answer as a mixed number, so you might need to change it. So in fact, I'll do that right now. And that's going to be 4 and 2 12ths. And you can simplify that even more, which is 4 and a 6th. Yep, if you did simplify it. Yep, so a couple of answers for that one. Part B, again, I'm going to change it to an improper fraction. So that's going to be 11 over 2. That's going to be 4 over 3. Okay, let's times this by 3, times this one by 2. So it's going to be out of 6. So is my answer, and it's take away. That's going to give me 33, take away 8, which is 25. Yep, you can leave your answer like that, or what would that be as a mixed number? That's going to be 4 and 1/6. Part C. So 4 and 2/7 plus 2 and 3/8. Let's change this to improper fractions. So I'm going to multiply these two together. That's 28 plus the 2 is 30 over 7 plus that's 16 plus 3 is 19 over 8. And now again, yeah, you know what, I'm going to multiply these two together to get my common denominator. So I'm going to have to multiply this one by 8, this one by 7. What we're going to get at the top, 8 times 30. Well, let's do 8 times 3 first. That's 24. Stick a 0 on the end. So that's 240 over 56. Yep. Let's do the same for the top. 7 times 19. What's that going to be? Well, if you do 20 times by 7, what's that going to be? 140. And take away 7. 133, isn't it? And then 56 at the bottom. Yep, your answer is going to be out of 56 as well. What happens when you add these two together? Blimey. Tell you what, let's do it on the side. I could probably do it in my head, but you know what? I'm just going to do this. Be on the safe side. 373. I'm going to leave it like that. Yep. That's your final answer. Part D, and let's change this to improper. So that's going to be 13 over 4 minus 6 over 5. And let's multiply this one by 5, multiply this one by 4. So it's going to be out of 20 for everything. 5 times 13, what's that for? 5 3s are 15. 15 plus 50, 65. 6 times 4 is 24. Yeah, and if you can't do these in your head, you know, like I just did 13 times by 5 in my head. If you can't do that in your head, just do it on the side, you know, just do a quick calculation on the side if it's non-calculator, of course. And in fact, you know what, that's going to be 41, isn't it? Yeah, again, just do that in my head. Yeah, let's leave it like that. You don't have to change it to mixed number, because it doesn't say, does it? Hope you guys got the same. Yes, good practice, you know, because I have seen these type of questions in functional skills level 2, definitely. Yeah, they are trying to bridge that gap between functional skills and GCSE, and this is one of those topics. Let's move on to the next one. So these are more wordy questions. These are definitely functional skills, but you know, in the style of level 2. 3 TV programs last for 1.5 hours, 3/4 of an hour, and 1 3/4 hours. If you watch them all, how long would this take? So, you know, it doesn't say, but obviously we're gonna have to add these together. So it's 1.5 plus 3/4 plus 1 3/4. You know what? You could do it all in one go if you wanted to. So let's change them all to top heavy. That's going to be 3/2 plus, well, that's already that's just a proper fraction, and this one is 7/4. So I can times this one by 2, so I'll get 6/4. That's my first fraction, so I just multiplied everything by 2 in that one, plus that, plus that. Yep, my answer is going to be out of 4 as well. Let's just add the numerators together. 6 plus 3 is 9, plus 7 is 16. Ooh, 16 divided by 4. You can simplify this even more. How many 4s go into 16? Exactly 4, and that's going to be hours. Yep, that's your final answer. You could have done it a different way, maybe. You could have separated the whole numbers, so maybe add the 1 with the 1 here, and just add the fractions separately. Altogether, you should have got 4 hours anyway, so whichever way you do it makes no difference. Question 2. A girl walks to the shops. It takes her half an hour to get there. She shops for 3.25 hours, and it takes her 3/4 of an hour to get back. How long did the shopping trip take? Bit of a mouthful, that, wasn't it? Right, so obviously we're going to have to add up all these fractions together. So I've got half plus 3.25 plus 3/4. Yep, and let's change this to top heavy. So I've still got half here. That's going to be 3 times 4 is 12, plus the 1 is 13. Still got this. Okay, so I'm going to change the first fraction. I'm going to double everything in that one. So that gives me 2/4 plus 13/4 plus 3/4. Okay, and my answer is going to be out of 4 as well. 2 plus 13 is 15, plus 3 is 18. Right. Shall I change it? You can leave it as this answer, but it looks a bit weird, doesn't it? 18/4 hours. Let me change it. So I'll tell you what, let's do, how many 4s go into 18? That's 4. And I've got 2 left over. And that simplifies to 4.5 hours. Yeah, or you can say 4 hours, 30 minutes, if you wanted to. I think that's fine, that's good enough, you know, 4.5 hours or 4.5 hours. That's absolutely fine, that's much better. Yeah. Question 3, a boy cycles to his friend's house. It takes him 1 3/4 hours to get there, 2.25 hours to cycle back. How much longer did it take him to cycle back from his friend's house? So you're gonna have to take it away. It's the difference between these two fractions, isn't it? So it's 2.25 minus 1 3/4. Yeah, let's change them to top heavy. So that's going to give me 9/4 minus 7/4. Yep, don't need to change these denominators, keep them the same. And that's going to be out of 4 as well. 9 take away 7 is 2. Simplifies to half, so it's half an hour longer. Yep, there's your answer. Question 4. Film lasts for 3 3/4 hours. An edited version of the film lasts for 2.5 hours. how much shorter is the edited film than the original version? So again, it's the difference between these two fractions. So we always do the bigger one minus the smaller one. Yeah, let's change these to top heavy. So 12 plus 3, 15 over 4 minus 5 over 2. So I'm going to have to multiply this one by 2, which gives me, so I'm going to keep that the same, first fraction the same. This will be 10 over 4. Yeah, my answer is going to be out of 4 as well. 15 take away 10 leaves me with 5. You could leave your answer like this, or I would change it back to a mixed number, to be honest. So that's the same as 1 1/4 hours. Yeah, that's your final answer. Let's have a go over these exam questions. Okay, so have a go yourself. The first one is a calculator one, so obviously you can use your calculator for this one, obviously taken from a calculator paper, isn't it, for this question. So give that a go. And also the next one is non-calc, so obviously try that without your calculator, please. Yeah, and I believe that's it. So do try these two questions. Pause the video, please, and when you're ready, just unpause it. Well, let's go through this one then. So last year Zach had 2 jobs. Zach worked in an office for 12 months and earned £2,600 per month, and at a gym for 39 weekends and earned £80 per weekend. What fraction of his total income last year came from his work at the gym? Right, that's that one there, isn't it? Write the fraction in its simplest form. Ooh, so we have to simplify it as well. Look how many marks it is as well. 4 marks with the calculator, so that's good. So we need the fraction of his total income. So there's a big clue right there to tell you it's going to be out of, or the denominator is going to be the total income. Yep. Let me just delete that. So let's work out his total income. So in the office, let's do that first. 12 months, £2,600 per month. So that's 12 times 2,600. Let's do that on the calculator. That gives me, in pounds, 31,200. Okay, and then the gym, 39 weekends and earned £80 per weekend. So that's 39 times 80. Again, let's do that on the calculator. Oh, that gives me 3,120. They look very similar, don't they? But this one's got a couple of zeros. Okay. What fraction of his total income last year came from his work at the gym? So yeah, again, don't be tempted to put this over this. It's not going to be this over this, is it? It's going to be out of his total income. So we need to work out his total income separately. Total income is both of these added together. Let's do that plus that, which is, let's do that in the calculator again, plus that. Okay, I get 34,320. So that's your denominator. So my fraction, what does it say? What fraction of his total income last year came from his work at the gym? Well, this came from his gym, 3,120 over total income, which is this, 3,4,3,2,0. Yeah. Now we need to simplify it. Don't forget, I tell you what, I'm going to use my calculator. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to type in, I'm going to use the divide button as well. If you've got one of these fancy scientific calculators, it'll simplify it for you. Just make your life a lot easier, especially on the calculator paper. You'll have more time to work on the other questions. So I'm going to type in 3120 divided by 34320 equals, and it comes up on my calculator. It looks like this. It simplified it for me. That's my answer. Yeah, so that's really good. You could have done it manually, but if you've got your calculator, why are you wasting time doing it yourself when you can just use your calculator? Save yourself a lot of time. I know some people do like to work things out themselves, but that's where mistakes happen, don't they? So yeah, definitely use your calculator in this situation. I did, and so save yourself a lot of hassle. That's 4 marks for that. Let's have a look at the next one. A non-calculator one. Let me put my calculator away. Ola will run from her house to a local park and back to her house. She sees the sketch of the route she will take. Okay, so she's going this way. Okay. What's the total distance of the route Ola will run? Give your answer as a mixed number. You must show you're working. Yeah, definitely. To get you 3 marks, you have to show how you get your answer. I'm going to have to add these two together. So let's do 1 1/4 plus 2 3/8. Yep. And obviously we're going to have to change these to top heavy. So I'm going to do 1 times 4 plus the 1 gives me 5/4. Let's do the same for this. 16 plus 3 is 19/8. Let's change the denominator for the first one. So I'm going to double that. Keep the second one the same. And that's going to give me 10/8 plus 19/8. Answer is going to be out of 8 as well. That gives me 29/8. And it said give your answer as a mixed number, so I'm going to have to change it back. How many 8s go into 29? That's 3, because 8 3s are 24. The difference between 24 and 29 is 5/8, and that should be your final answer. What are the units for this? Miles. I'm going to put miles here. Yep, and that's my final answer as a mixed number. Yeah, so I hope you found that useful, and that's fractions done for functional skills level 2. Very similar to GCSE in fact as well, so if you're watching this from my GCSE videos, hopefully you found that useful as well. If you did find it useful, please don't forget to like my video. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already done so. Hit the bell button as well to get any notifications of any new videos. And if you have any suggestions for any new videos, what you'd like to see next, feel free to add a comment, send me a message. And your support is very much appreciated. I wouldn't be doing these without your support, so thank you very much, and I shall see you in the next one.